Your life begins to transform the moment you choose to think differently. And this, right here, could be that moment. This is Mindshift with Geetanjali, the space where you shift your mindset, rise above limitations, and reframe your reality. I'm Geetanjali, mindset coach, author, and your companion on this journey to rediscover the power that's already within you. Let's begin. I'm so grateful you're here, and I want to start by saying a huge thank you to everyone who has been following and subscribing to my podcast. Your support means the world to me. The 4 P's: problem, promise, proof, plan clarifies what this episode is about. The problem. You say yes because you don't want to disappoint anyone. You agree because you want to be seen as kind, helpful, dependable, loving. But somewhere along the way, your own dreams keep getting pushed to the bottom of the pile. The book you wanted to write, the business you wanted to grow, the rest your body needed, the boundary you knew you had to set. All of it keeps getting postponed while you become available for everyone else. And the painful part is this: on the outside, it looks like generosity, but on the inside, it feels like quiet self-abandonment. Promise. What if people pleasing isn't just costing your peace? What if it's costing you your potential? In this episode, we're going to uncover why overgiving drains your life force, weakens your self-trust, and keeps your most powerful self waiting in the wings. And more importantly, I'll show you how to stop giving your energy away and start reclaiming it for the life you were actually meant to build. Proof. I've seen this pattern in so many people, and I know it personally too. They weren't lazy, they weren't unclear, they weren't incapable. They were just so busy being everything for everyone else that they had nothing left for themselves. And the moment they understood that people pleasing wasn't kindness, but a nervous system survival pattern, everything began to shift. Plan. Today, we're going deep into the neuroscience of self-betrayal, identity, and energy leakage. We'll explore why approval becomes addictive, why your potential gets buried beneath performance, and I'll give you a practical tool called the Power Redirect so you can begin taking your life back. In our last episode, we talked about why saying no feels so hard. But today we go deeper because people pleasing is not just about saying yes when you mean no. It's about what happens over time when your energy keeps flowing outward and never returns to you. It's about the goals you delay, the truth you silence, the life you keep postponing. So, I want to ask you something honestly. Whose life are you building while you keep abandoning your own? Because every time you betray your own needs to secure approval, you reinforce the belief that other people's priorities matter more than your purpose. The science. Why do we people please and the science behind? Let's understand why this happens. We people please because somewhere along the way, our nervous system learned that approval felt safer than authenticity. Maybe being agreeable helped you avoid conflict. Maybe being helpful made you feel valued. Maybe being good made you feel loved. Maybe being easy made you feel accepted. So your brain and body created a rule. If they're happy with me, I'm safe. Your amygdala scans for social threats. Your hypothalamus, the commander, activates stress when disapproval feels possible. And before your rational mind can step in, your body chooses the safer option. Please, adjust, agree. That's why people pleasing feels automatic. It's not a weakness, it's conditioning. But over time, this creates a deeper problem. Every time you override your truth, your brain reinforces that pattern. Through neuroplasticity, self-abandonment becomes familiar. And what is familiar starts to feel normal. The biology of potential loss. When someone approves of you, your brain releases dopamine, a reward signal. So now you're not just avoiding discomfort, you're chasing validation. But at the same time, when you ignore your own needs, your body produces cortisol, the stress hormone. So you end up in a loop. Approval on the outside, stress on the inside. Your energy becomes fragmented. Part of you is managing expectations, a part of you is suppressing the truth, a part of you is quietly exhausted. And here's the deeper truth. Potential requires focused energy, but people-pleasing scatters your energy in every direction. Let's look at a tool I call the Power Redirect. This is about noticing when your energy is automatically flowing outward and consciously turning some of that energy back towards your own life. Step 1. Catch the leak. Awareness. The moment you feel yourself about to say yes automatically, pause and ask, is this coming from desire or fear? Example. Someone asks you to take on one more responsibility, help with one more task, show up for one more thing, and instantly you feel that pull to agree. Pause and ask, do I truly want to do this? Or am I afraid of how I'll be seen if I don't? That question alone is powerful because it interrupts autopilot. Step 2. Name the cost. Reality check. Now ask yourself, what will this cost me? Will it cost you rest, creative energy, time for your business, your gym session, your peace, the promise you made to yourself this week? Example, you were finally going to spend 2 hours working on your own dream, your project, your healing, your writing, your plan. Then someone else's request appears. Before you say yes, say this internally. If I give my energy away here, what part of my own life am I postponing? This is where self-honesty begins. Step 3. Redirect the energy. Aligned response. If the response is not aligned, practice a response that honors both kindness and truth. A simple script. I'm not able to take that on right now because I'm protecting some commitments I made to myself. Or, I can't give that energy it deserves right now. Or, even more simply, I'm not available for that. This is not selfish, this is stewardship. You are redirecting life force back into the life that is yours to build. People pleasing often begins as protection, but eventually protection becomes self abandonment when it keeps you from living your own life. And I know that because I lived it. Let me tell you a relatable story, losing yourself while looking like you had it all together. I know this pattern deeply because I lived it. There was a time in my life when I was constantly doing what other people needed, what other people expected, what other people were comfortable with. I was the one who said yes, the one who adjusted, the one who made things work, the one who carried more than I should have carried. And from the outside, it probably looked like I had it together. It probably looked like I was being loving, generous, dependable. But inside, something very different was happening. I was getting further and further away from myself. Things I needed were always the things I pushed aside. My rest, my peace, my healing, my dreams, my own voice. There were times I was so focused on being what everyone else needed that I didn't stop and ask, what do I need? What do I want? What kind of life am I building for myself? And that's the danger of people pleasing. It doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just looks like being the good one, the reliable one, the kind one, the strong one. But underneath that image, you can be slowly abandoning yourself. I know what it feels like to wake up and realize that you have spent so much energy tending to everyone else's expectations, that your own life has been waiting on the sidelines. And that realization is painful. Because you see that it was never that you didn't have dreams. It was never that you weren't capable. It was that your energy kept going outward. You kept pouring into everyone else's cup and wondering why yours felt empty. That was one of the deepest shifts for me, realizing that constantly being available to others was not the same thing as being true to myself. And I had to learn slowly with compassion that choosing myself did not make me selfish. It made me honest. It made me healthy. It made me whole. And maybe you know this feeling too. Maybe you've spent years being everything for everyone else. Maybe you've been praised for your giving while privately feeling exhausted. Maybe you've been so busy holding it all together that you haven't had the space to ask what you actually want. If that is you, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind, you are not weak, you are not wrong for having learned this pattern. But there comes a moment when the kindest thing you can do is stop living only in response to everyone else and start returning to yourself. And that is why this work matters so much. Because when you stop people pleasing, you're not just changing a behavior, you're reclaiming your energy, your truth, and the life that has been waiting for you. I want to say something that may land deeply today. Being liked is not the same as being aligned. Sometimes we confuse approval with success. We confuse being appreciated with being fulfilled. We confuse being useful with being purposeful. But the truth is, you can be deeply liked and still be deeply disconnected from yourself. You can be admired for your giving and still be privately exhausted. You can be loved for your availability and still feel unseen in your truth. At some point, growth asks you a difficult question. Would you rather be endlessly approved for who you have trained yourself to be, or deeply at peace with who you actually are? Because your potential does not bloom through constant performance, it blooms through congruence. When your words, your choices, your body, and your future finally begin moving in the same direction, that is when your power returns. You're aligned. Before we move into our practice, I want to explain what visualization really is, especially if you are joining us for the first time. Visualization is not just positive thinking. It is a way of helping the brain and nervous system rehearse a new internal reality. When you imagine something vividly with emotion, your brain begins activating many of the same neural pathways involved in the real experience. So when you visualize choosing yourself calmly, clearly, and safely, you are teaching your body that self-honoring is not a threat. You are creating a new reference point, a new memory of power. So let's do this gently together. Take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth. Again, inhale and exhale. One more time. And let your breath return to a natural rhythm. If it feels safe, close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. Now imagine that your energy is scattered in many different directions. See it like light strands extending outward to responsibilities, expectations, conversations, obligations, old roles, and the pressure to keep everyone happy. Notice how it feels to have your energy stretch so far. Maybe there is a heaviness in your chest, tightness in your jaw, fatigue behind your eyes, or a pulling sensation in your belly. No judgment, just noticing. Now imagine that, one by one, you begin calling those strands of energy back from needing to manage how everyone sees you, back from needing to earn approval, back from old roles that no longer fit, back from the pressure to be endlessly available. With each breath, your energy begins returning to your body. See that light gathering back into your chest, your stomach, your hands, your spine. You're not taking anything from anyone. You're simply calling yourself home. Now imagine in front of you there is a path. At the end of the path, that is the life that belongs to you. Your peace, your work, your purpose, your next level, your becoming. And And now imagine yourself saying these words. My energy is precious. My life deserves my presence. I release the need to prove my worth through overgiving. I am allowed to choose what strengthens me. Feel your body standing taller, not hard, not defended, just anchored. Notice that you are still kind, still loving, still good, but now you are also in your power. Take one small, slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine yourself stepping into that path. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back and open your eyes. Let's say a few affirmations together. Repeat after me to let this land within you. I do not need to abandon myself to be loved. My energy belongs first to the life I am here to build. I honor my purpose by protecting my peace. I release the pattern of proving my worth through overgiving. I am allowed to choose alignment over approval. If this episode stirred something in you, let that be a good sign. It means a deeper truth is waking up. You were never meant to spend your life constantly earning your place by shrinking, overgiving, and postponing yourself. Your potential needs your energy, your future needs your honesty, and your life needs a version of you that is willing to stop leaking power and start living on purpose. People pleasing may have been a strategy that helped you survive, but it is not the strategy that will help you become. So this week, I want you to notice where your energy goes. Notice where you say yes out of fear. Notice where your life gets placed second. And then make one shift, one clear, grounded, honest shift that says, I am returning to myself fully, honestly, and without apology. Let that be your starting point, because the moment you begin to return to yourself, your life begins to return to you. Join me in the next episode. Is your phone stealing your peace? We'll explore how constant notifications, scrolling, and digital noise quietly pull you out of your life, and how to reclaim your focus, your presence, and your inner calm. Thank you for joining me today on Mindshift with Geetanjali. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message and subscribe for next week's episode. Every moment of awareness you create today builds the reality you live tomorrow. Keep rising, keep shifting, keep reframing, and keep becoming who you're meant to be. Rise, shift, reframe, become.